Hey there, good morning Facebook family. So Dave Beamer here. Wanted to talk to you this morning back to the whole plan, work, reflect, course correct, and repeat, right? This cycle that will actually get you some results. So for me, the whole reflection piece I was missing, and definitely the course correction. So if you're not reflecting, you don't know how to course correct. So yesterday we were unpacking the last 2 days. We unpacked a little bit about the difference between marketing and sales, right? So these kind of two key differences between marketing and sales. And so this morning I wanted to dive a little bit further into sales, right? The sales process itself, just a real quick hit on it. So as I was thinking, I was reflecting back to, hey, good morning, Brad. As I was reflecting back to being at Chick-fil-A, and I got to thinking about that this morning as I was out. It was raining pretty good this morning, so I waited till I got back here to post up. But how frequently do you see Chick-fil-A market? Like, if you just think about it for a second, you think about all of the commercials that you see on TV. So you got your big couple fast food restaurants that you see all the time on television, right? Marketing to you, putting, this kind of race to the bottom on pricing. When you think about Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A gets the sales piece so right that they don't market. And I'd have you consider, if you're a small business owner, you're probably not Chick-fil-A, right? So marketing is a huge piece. Knowing your ideal client, knowing how to get in front of them, knowing what specifically they want to know and to hear from you as a business owner is huge, right? So marketing is huge. But once you get them in the door, then you've actually got to convert them from an ideal client to an actual client, right? And so bits and pieces of that, you have to understand, you need to understand what exactly is it that you have to offer once they're there, and then how to talk them through why to choose you. And ultimately, one of the biggest pieces for me that I struggle with, and I would say that there's a reason a lot of people aren't in sales, right, is actually asking for the sale. Like, this is the main part of selling. Once you get them in the door and you know that they have interest in you and your product and your service, you've actually got to ask for the sale at some point. And so it's really easy, I know that in the automotive field, to sit there in your office, you've got these people that come to you, right, almost by accident, right, because you haven't done a lot of marketing. So they show up at your door by accident, and you're either really, really busy, you're into 100 other things when they come in, and your customer feels that. Like, that's a huge piece. They feel the energy you have. So if you've got a lot of busy energy, in the sense that the customer is going to feel that they're almost an interruption to your day or what you're into, that's not going to get you what you want. Like, if you get that client, it's by accident, right? So you have to be mindful of all the other things that are going on. When you interact with a customer, when you interact with a client, you've got to be in that space. That's what makes really, really great salesmen, in my opinion. We all know how it feels to go to a car lot, right? Like, that's generally, and I'm not, for my car salesman friends out there that watch and that follow, like, I promise you I'm not beating up on you, because there's some of you that are magnificent at this, right? You know exactly what your client wants before they ever come on the lot. You've spoken with them, you've talked to them, you've poured into them. You know what their specific needs and what their family's needs are before they ever get there. But we've all had experiences with terrible salespeople, right? We're an inconvenience as a customer, as a client. You feel like you're an inconvenience to them, right? Like, surely there's somebody else here who has a few minutes to just spend with me, so that I know whether or not this is the right place for me to be and to buy a product or service from, right? So when you're looking at that and you're thinking through what your processes are in the sales process, are you doing any training around making sure that your clients feel like they're a part of the family when they're there? Are you doing any training with your folks on communication? Like, on a day-to-day basis, the energy that we bring to a conversation, and this is where it really shows up in sales, the energy that you bring into a conversation, right, is massive. If your energy is a busy energy, and I know it sounds kind of weird about energy, but if you have this busyness inside and you're having a conversation with your customers and your clients, they're going to feel that. They're going to feel disconnected. They're going to feel like they're a bother to you, right? So how do you track any of that? How do you know if you're being successful, right? Do you know how many people are coming in? Like, do you know I talked to 10 people today and 2 of them bought or sold? 2 of them bought my service or my product, right? Good morning, Chrissy. If you're not tracking that, you have no idea where to course correct. If you're not spending the time to look at your week at the end of the week and go, okay, I had 45 people came in, 30 came from this source, this person, this lead, the rest came from somewhere else, miscellaneous stuff. Pour time into the one that got you the 30 people, right? But here's the thing, you can drive everybody in your door, like everybody in your door. But if you don't treat the customer right when they're there, if you don't show up and let them know that they're the most important thing going on in your business right then in that moment, you don't deserve them as a client. Just have you consider that, right? Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is so good at sales because of how they make you feel when you're there that they don't have to market. When you're watching television, just think about that, right? You got all the big players out there racing to the bottom on price. Nobody wants to be in that space. It's not sustainable. Like, where do they go from? Where do you go from a 99-cent cheeseburger as a business owner? You're in a corner at that point, right? And I get the upsell thing. Like, look, guys, I understand what they make on fries and their drinks and all that offsets that. Don't put yourself in a corner. Pour into your customers. Care about your customers, okay? And then think about it. What got you there? What got you that customer? What do you need to change in order to get more of those customers if they're your ideal client? And then do more of that, right? That's the whole cycle. So, hope this was helpful. Thanks, guys.